Auxiliary gutters are not considered a raceway according to the National Electrical Code. Auxiliary gutters and wireways are differentiated in the National Electrical Code because they do not meet the specific requirements of a wireway. A wireway is defined as a sheet metal trough with removable covers used for housing and protecting electric wires and cables. Auxiliary gutters are typically used to supplement wiring spaces at meter centers, distribution centers, switchgear, switchboards, and similar points. They may enclose conductors or bus bars, but they are not intended to extend runs of wires between electrical equipment. Their purpose is primarily to provide additional space for connections and taps, facilitating easier and neater wiring installations. Wireways, on the other hand, are designed for continuous runs of conductors. They provide a protected pathway for wires and cables between different pieces of equipment or between different sections of a building. Wireways are often used in industrial or commercial settings where long runs of exposed wiring would be unsightly or pose a safety hazard. Auxiliary gutters serve a different purpose than wireways. Auxiliary gutters are used to support luminaires and other electrical equipment and are not intended for the sole purpose of housing and protecting wires and cables over long distances. The National Electrical Code Article 366 covers auxiliary gutters and Article 376 covers wireways. Article 366.2 defines an auxiliary gutter as a metal trough or box with a removable cover for conductors, cables, and bus bars at switchboards, switchgear, meter centers, and similar equipment. It is designed to supplement wiring compartments, providing additional space for connections or for the accommodation of taps and splices. Article 376.2 defines a wireway as sheet metal troughs with hinged or removable covers for housing and protecting electric wires and cable conductors. The NEC outlines specific installation requirements for both auxiliary gutters and wireways, addressing aspects such as support, grounding, conductor fill, and permitted uses. These requirements reflect the different functions and applications of the two types of enclosures. Firstly, auxiliary gutters are permitted to contain conductors, bus bars, and associated equipment. They can be installed horizontally or vertically, and they must be securely supported. The sum of the cross-sectional areas of all conductors in an auxiliary gutter cannot exceed 20% of the interior cross-sectional area of the gutter. Secondly, wireways are designed for continuous runs of conductors and must be supported at intervals not exceeding 5 feet or for individual lengths longer than 5 feet at each end or joint, unless specifically listed for other support intervals. The sum of the cross-sectional areas of all conductors at any cross-section of a wireway shall not exceed 75% of the interior cross-sectional area of the wireway. Thirdly, both auxiliary gutters and wireways must be grounded in accordance with NEC Article 250. This ensures that the metal enclosures are at the same electrical potential as the equipment they serve, reducing the risk of electric shock. Fourthly, the NEC specifies the types of conductors that are permitted in auxiliary gutters and wireways. Generally, any insulated conductor that is suitable for the voltage and temperature conditions can be used. However, there may be restrictions on the use of certain types of conductors in specific applications. The physical construction of auxiliary gutters and wireways also differs. Auxiliary gutters are typically smaller and more compact than wireways. They are often custom-made to fit specific equipment configurations. Wireways are typically manufactured in standard lengths and sizes, and they can be easily joined together to create longer runs. Fifthly, the use of auxiliary gutters is typically limited to short distances, such as between a switchboard and a nearby panel board. Wireways, on the other hand, can be used for longer runs, such as between different buildings or between different floors of a building. Sixthly, auxiliary gutters are often used in conjunction with other types of enclosures, such as junction boxes and pull boxes. Wireways can also be used with other enclosures, but they are more often used as a standalone wiring system. Seventhly, the cost of auxiliary gutters and wireways can vary depending on the size, type, and manufacturer. Generally, auxiliary gutters are more expensive than wireways, but this is because they are typically custom-made. Eighthly, auxiliary gutters are often used in applications where space is limited. They can be installed in tight spaces, such as behind equipment or under floors. Wireways are less flexible in this regard, as they require more space for installation. Ninthly, the National Electrical Code specifies the marking requirements for both auxiliary gutters and wireways. These markings must include the manufacturer's name or trademark, the voltage rating, and the ampacity rating. Tenthly, auxiliary gutters and wireways must be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. This ensures that the enclosures are properly supported, grounded, and that the conductors are properly sized. Ultimately, the differentiation between auxiliary gutters and wireways in the National Electrical Code stems from their distinct functions and applications in electrical systems. Auxiliary gutters provide supplemental wiring space at equipment locations, while wireways offer a protected pathway for continuous conductor runs.